Let's go. It's crazy how we got to this point. And I'm going to we need to calm this. We need some calming music. We don't need nothing heavy. We need something soft, sexy, seductive, something real nice and neat. But it's crazy that the popularity of Shedeur is driving other people nuts. People hate that Shedeur is as popular as he is because he's a fifth round quarterback. And I reiterate fifth round, and we're going to use that as the medium today because he is a fifth round quarterback. And people go out of their way to remind us that Shedeur Sanders is a fifth round quarterback.
This idiom means going to extra trouble.
And before we go too far into this, y'all know how super chats and super stickers and everything else works. We'll get to those. But Shedeur Sanders' popularity has teed off a conversation, and it has upset the atmosphere, the stratosphere of the NFL, that people are complaining that Shedeur Sanders is getting more coverage than the first round draft pick Cam Ward. And most people don't understand how we got to this point and who's to blame for Shedeur's fanatic rise to being a bigger superstar than he was before he got into the NFL. And it's the NFL's fault. It's nobody's fault but their own. They started this, and now they can't control it. See, because what they thought would happen is that once he wasn't drafted as high as he was supposed to be drafted, the noise would calm down. And then he would fade back into the sunset and the NFL could go on about their business. But since Shedeur's fall in the draft, Shedeur has been a media staple. He has been an NFL quarterback that drives the industry, that feeds the click monsters, that feeds the algorithm. Shedeur Sanders was a hot topic for about a week after the draft, and then they thought it would go away, and it hasn't. Shedeur Sanders has been the standard of content daily. And since rookies have reported to rookie minicamp, Shedeur Sanders has driven the news cycle daily. He has been the lead on major sports stations. He has been talked about in every arena of sports there is. And now, on a daily basis, with preseason starting, he leads all sports topics on a daily basis. He leads Sports Center. He leads Get Up. He leads First Take and all of the Fox stations, including radio and television. All of ESPN, including radio and television. All of Yahoo Sports, including YouTube and articles on their website. Shedeur Sanders is the algorithm when it comes to the NFL. Right now, Cleveland is being spoken about more than the Dallas Cowboys. And Jerry Jones is sick. because Jerry Jones is usually front facing. The Cowboys are usually the talk of the town. What's going to happen next in Big D? What did Jerry say at his news conference? But Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys are not that right now with Shedeur Sanders in the news cycle. But this is the fault of the NFL. The NFL did this to themselves. The NFL turned Shedeur Sanders into the number one rookie jersey in the NFL. The NFL turned Shedeur Sanders into the algorithm monster that he currently is. Simply for what they did. This is all their fault. If you wouldn't have been so vindictive, if you would have not been so vindictive, if you would have simply just let Shedeur Sanders be drafted where he should have been drafted, then we wouldn't have this problem. If you simply would have let Cleveland do what they wanted to do, if you'd have simply let any of the teams that wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders have their way, instead of trying to punish Deion Sanders and his son for being them, then we wouldn't be in this boat. Because Shedeur Sanders, yes, he would have sold jerseys. And yes, he would have been a hot topic. But by him being drafted in the 5th round, a projected first round pick that was drafted in the 5th round, for no other reason than some anonymous coach said some stuff that they didn't like about Shedeur, then we wouldn't be here. This would not be the top of everybody's mind. This wouldn't be the topic of conversation on a daily basis. But the NFL has no one to blame but themselves. See, because if Shedeur goes in the 1st round or even the 2nd round, where he was projected to go, then we're all cool. We all right, he in there. Let's wait for preseason. Of course, we would have followed, we would have supported, we would have done all the things that we have normally done since Jackson State. But see, what the NFL did was created a groundswell. They created a grassroots movement because it was obvious what they were doing. It was obvious to everyone that Shedeur Sanders was set up and pushed down into the 5th round. And with that came the support of people who don't watch football, of people who weren't paying football any mind, of people who really didn't care what happened with football until the season started. But they pushed it, and they pushed it too far. Their punishment of Shedeur Sanders turned into the biggest reward possible. Because not only did he grow in support, people grew to dislike the NFL for doing it.